I'll tell you what you want, what you really want. I'll tell you what I want, what I really want. I wanna really bad. Oh, do you wanna be my lover? Do you wanna be? Hello, everybody. Sonny Benani. Ba fu. Ba fu. I hope you guys are having a lovely. What is today? A lovely Thursday. Rising Grand Rast. I'm about to say Grand Rastafari. Grand Masterful Rich rising this beautiful day of the rising sun. Like, it is nice. But I do believe it's chilly outside, right? It's not chilly? What? Yeah, it was nice yesterday. I ain't gonna lie. We see y'all having all the good desire. Thank you for being a part of Lock Fam Kingdom Citizens. We are always grateful to come on here and be of service and just basically just do what feels natural, do what feels good, and yeah, man. What we got? Mom said, woke up, saw your text, and overall, today's conversation is going to be about daily steps to becoming a leader and what that looks like, right? Um, we finished our conversation yesterday on what is it that keeps you inconsistent? Why is it hard to stay consistent? And we oh, that's nice. And we hey mom. My mom's over here blowing me up. She's like ting 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 ting. Yeah. And today is just going to be mainly focused on daily steps of becoming a leader. What does that look like? I believe that we're all born leaders, and we just so happen to have amongst us followers, which is not a bad thing. But that's why I have that awesome quote which is, "We turn followers into leaders and leaders into agents of change," and I believe that is a wonderful movement, right? Because if you want to be a leader, you don't always have to have followers, right? The cool thing about it is that I understand the Grandmaster philosophy, right? In the times of Grandmasters, when they would teach their martial arts skills, they only became Grandmasters because they studied and perfected a certain style that they created, right? And so other people wanted to learn, and what they would go do is go test that out on other people who said they were masters. And if they deemed to be the master out of all masters, people wanted to learn from that master, right? And what I understood from that point is once they became at a certain point of maturity, they started teaching their grasshoppers, their disciples, um, these moves, right? And the philosophy and the mindset of how they were able to get to this certain point of mastery. And what understanding that uh, they basically turned their followers into leaders, right? Because after giving them all the gems and turning them into a master of that style, now they have become a master, right? And what makes the grandmaster so powerful is because the grandmaster is not afraid to become a student, right? The grandmaster relearns the style that he is teaching in a different perspective because now he has to break it down in a different format that these grasshoppers will not understand the way that he learned it. So now he has to come at it from a different point of view. And I think that's so dope because the grandmaster is the student at all times, right? Even though other people look at him as though he's the grandmaster, he's humble enough to understand that I appreciate you looking at me in this matter, but you don't even see the level that I'm at of understanding the student mastery, right? And today's conversation is about daily steps to becoming a leader, right? So number one, we're gonna jump right into it. Uh, I just got. So what we're talking about? What up? What up? What up? What up? Thank you guys for dropping in. What we're talking about today is daily steps to becoming a leader, right? And I was using the Grandmaster Sifu, Grandmaster Miyagi, whatever, Sifu Miyagi, um, as a analogy of the days of mastery, right? The days of the master teaching the disciples, teaching the grasshoppers. His moves, right? And in him understanding that the grandmaster is a student because he's not teaching them the same way that he learned, right? Absolutely, but that's not the concept of what I'm talking about. It's about the concept is focusing on becoming a leader, right? And God needs us to be leaders, right? But the idea of that is even when you are preaching the gospel, you still have to be at a certain level where you're upholding certain integrities, right? You're powerful enough to understand and download all the principles, right? What makes a wise man is that he has learned the laws, the divine laws of God, and the principles to apply them, right? And so, with that being said, that analogy with the grandmaster is understanding that the grandmaster is a student. And the grandmaster is not airheaded to believe that he's the master of all people. He understands that, yes, he's considered as a grandmaster, but he is also the most very important part as a student, right? He knows that he has to always develop himself and understand that that is growth beyond, and that there's no wall, right? There's no wall of, oh, I'm grandmaster because I'm teaching people, and now I don't need to know anything because I know it all. He understands that this is not true. This is not valuable, right? This is not a belief system that he acquires. Point number one start with purpose, right? Remind yourself why you are here. Pray, meditate, journal about your purpose. I'll give you this concept right here. Leaders began with understanding why they were created, right? What is the purpose of my creation? I know that society tells me to get a job, white picket fence, go to school, get a job, get a career, all these things. But I understand that this is not a part of the divine plan. I understand this is a way for me to fit within society, right? Which is not the ideal thing. Obviously, like there's bigger things to really, really focus on. I understand that that's not the end all be all, right? Everyone is born with a specific purpose. And true leadership emerges when you align yourself with it. The greatest tragedy in life is not death. The greatest tragedy in life is but a life without purpose. If you can exist and not have purpose, you understand what that feeling is like. You understand that there's more to be done. You're not just here to exist, right? You're not just here to work a 9 to 5. You're not just here to make a living. You're here to do more, be more. You're here to grow exponentially. You're here to learn infinity. One of the things that I appreciate about life so much is that it is a never-ending learning experience, which gives me so much joy to understand that that is part of abundance, right? That is part of the kingdom showing its abundance, right? You'll never exceed to a point where you just know it all. And respect game, right? Number 2 says, set a vision for the day. Define your goal and impact, define the goals and the impact you want to create, right? My goal is to continue being consistent on the journey with creating impact, showing up in these matters, showing up in the community, showing up in the family, showing up within my businesses. All right, bring your 30-minute butt over here. Hurry up. Yeah. Yeah. So always waking up, redefining what my goal is and what my approach is. I understand more than ever that my goal is to impact the community in a way that speaks on not just my experience, but the overall principles of the divine God, right? Number 3, cultivate a growth mindset. Read something every day to expand, right, your knowledge and your wisdom. Add to your arsenal, add to that repertoire of information. You know, seeking knowledge, wisdom, and understanding is the value of this lifetime. This will allow you to acquire details about this world and the divine laws of this world. If you notice, like in major communities and when you are learning a new skill, you have to acquire the information. What makes you wise is that the implication of that knowledge, right? The application of that knowledge. The application that you've applied the knowledge and you understood how to apply it and you got action out of it to see the results come to fruition, right? We're going to step into the next point, right? The next point goes through break out the day, service and integrity, right? Lead by example. Seems like you're it seems like you're cracking the code by day, and I'm definitely listening. Thank you, but I appreciate that. Last night was a major intense workout with me and the group. I got in pretty late, and we got out there around like 9 p.m. and we finished around 12. I didn't get back in the house until 2 a.m. Yeah, it was about 2, babe. When I sent that message, it was around 2 a.m. No. It was 2 a.m. I just looked at the time. 12:30. Huh? 12:30. It said 2 a.m. on my phone. It said it was 1 something. Yeah, it was about 1 when you was driving, but by the time we got in the house and settled down and sat in the room, and I put my phone on charger and sent that last message, it said it was 2:03. Yeah. But long story short, the workout was intense. There was growth. Obviously when you consistently put effort into showing up, you're gonna see growth. Like, that's the super awesome appreciation aspect of it all. You're gonna see growth. You're gonna see that who you were a week ago is not who you were today, right? And I love seeing that polarity, right? Because it brings me like not only joy but like realization that you are not who you were yesterday. Maybe you continuously show up today with the same patterns and the same things that you had about 3 years ago, But it's all by choice. It's all by your willpower to continue to say, this is me, instead of understanding that none of it's you, right? You are the reflection of your father. So the overall potential of your growth is only shadowed by your perception, right? As far as you can think that you can be, if you choose to say, I'm this person and this is me all the time, of course. God only says yes. I like that concept that God only says yes. I don't know if you guys ever read that book called God Only Says Yes. That's a very interesting book. Even when you are condemning yourself, God only says yes, right? And I say condemn, but I mean like when I say condemn, I mean like you saying, "Oh man, I suck." Yes, because you have the power. God doesn't have the power over you because He gave you willpower, and if He tried to intervene within your willpower that He divinely gave you, then He would be going against His laws and principles, which would make Him not divine. And He's so righteous that He would not do that. Right? He's so upholding. That's what makes Him trustworthy too, as well. That He wouldn't even budge to change it for you, let alone His only Son. Right? The version of Himself in human form. All right, so lead by example is point number 4, which is the concept we're focusing on right now. Moving to the next phase, which is throughout the day, focus on service and integrity. How you show up, how your posture is, how you are talking, who you are representing. When you know you are representing something more than yourself, you don't show up any kind of way, right? So lead by example. Show excellence in all that you do, right? Whether if it's at work, home, or in a business space. Excellence doesn't necessarily mean that you are being arrogant. And if people perceive you as being arrogant, then they don't understand that you are representing something more than yourself. Or they're either hoping or wishing and feeling a place of um, envy or jealousy because they want to show up as that, or they see themselves being that, right? Let me give you a pointer for that one. Leaders are visionaries. The leader must see beyond their present circumstances and inspire others with a compelling future. When you're visioning a life, do not just focus on how you want to vision your life. Focus on how you want to vision your life, as far as in understanding when you go here, there's levels of vision that you start to expand in. But don't just stop there, because you have some people who vision their life and what they want to do with their life. And they don't understand that that's not the power of vision. The power of vision is where it becomes a ripple effect across the world, right? Where you start to understand that you are making an impact, right? You survived out of 500 million sperm cells. You think your existence is just to live it up? I don't believe so. I believe there's a time and a place. I like what Jim Rohn said. Jim Rohn said, when you're on vacation, you're on vacation. When you're at work, you're at work. Don't combine the two. Don't fuse the two. Don't clash the two, because they're on two different playing fields, right? Vision is the key to leadership. If you have no vision, you cannot lead. Where there is no vision, people perish, right? And I think the point of what I'm speaking on about vision is that you are visioning to impact not only your family, but you want to impact families, right? I want to make my friends' family, prosperous. I want to make my associates that I understand who are either working for me or working with me on a vision that's bigger than me. I want to make their families prosperous. I want to be a funnel that God can use to then enlighten others, right? To not just enlighten, but to exude the presence of the kingdom within the territory, right? She's here. Wow, she's not here now, guys. She's dodging us. She says she's coming, but it's 8:27.
I know, right?
She'll never come, guys.
Morning was a little bit different this morning.
Morning. Nobody cares. Oh man, I thought somebody was ringing the doorbell for like 2.5 seconds.
Really?
Yeah, that sounded like the doorbell. Point number 5: serve others. Find ways to help, mentor, and add value to someone. Leadership is about influence, not control.
All right.
I want to influence you to become better. I want to influence you to understand that God is the beacon of hope, right? God is the foundation. God is the compass. God is the overall. And I like what I think this is what Dr. Miles Monroe said, but he was talking about when you are advertising the Bahamas, when you're advertising Disney World, you don't advertise who created it. You don't advertise, when you're advertising the United States, you don't advertise the president, right? You advertise the nation, right? You advertise the land, right? When you advertise Disney World, all you see is the results, the kingdom, the castle, all this. She's hungry. All of this beauty, right? When you advertise the Bahamas, all you see is the clear waters, the beach, the trees. You don't even see people when they advertise these things, right? I can't say the same for Disney World because it is a family attraction. But when you advertise the United States, do they advertise the people when they advertise the United States?
Where?
Like for people who want to be in the United States that are in other countries. And they're like, I want to go to the United States.
No, they don't even advertise.
What is it that makes people want to come to the United States?
Currency.
Currency?
Currency and...
The live it up dream?
And the American dream.
The American dream. Right? The American dream. They don't even see the people when they see the American dream.
They just want to be comfortable and they want to do,
Like they look like they're comfortable over there. They get here, they be like, it is not what it was cracked up to be. Yeah, Batman cup. Man, you throwing off our advertisement.
What do you mean?
We're supposed to be presenting our cups only. All right.
What's happening, everybody?
So understanding, you're here to influence. I am here to influence the kingdom's right? Presence, that the kingdom is here, right?
Yeah.
You want to adjust it, yeah. That the kingdom is here, and you have full access to receive the benefits of the kingdom, right?
Yeah.
And these are attributes to allow yourself to be able to receive the blessings that God has to offer, right? There are only
pass me my phone.
Yeah. There are only foundations to asking the right questions.
Yeah.
Right? The right questions is, who am I? I got a book.
Who am I?
I think, who am I? Why am I here?
Who am I?
Okay. Who am I? Why am I here? Nope, not that side. 1 second.
Where you at? What?
Right here. So, who am I allows you to identify who you are, your identity. Why am I? Well, why am I? Where am I from? Right? Where am I from? And that's not your state, right? That's not where you was born. Where am I from? Overall, existently wise, spiritually wise, where am I from? Why am I here on earth? Right? What's my job here on earth? What can I do on earth? Right? And where am I going? Right?
Yeah.
And these are foundational questions to ask when you are understanding your existence on planet Earth. Right? overall, this is what I mean when I say influencing, not controlling,
Right.
right? And planting the seeds and the right questions for other people to question themselves on the journey and why they're here and what they want to
Mm.
do and how they want to impact life,
Right.
right? Number six, make decisions with integrity. Choose what is right over what is easy,
Mm-hmm.
right? Don't always go for the easy because sometimes over the easy, as you're seeing right now in day-to-day life with the celebrities, everything that's easy ain't always what it's cracked up to be,
Yeah.
right? And you hear all these reveals of things that is beyond comprehension,
Mm.
right? Beyond comprehension, where you're like, dude, you have to be grateful that you were never in that position to be offered something like that and to sell your soul, basically, right? I don't want to sell my soul. I don't want to say I would trade you for my soul for some money. Like, I don't want money to be my master, right? I want to be the master of money, but I don't want to live it up that bad to where it's like I had to trade off my soul to where I know it's supposed to divinely go to where I don't even know the intentions of this other being that I'm giving my soul to, that I let
Yeah.
alone giving my rights to, you know?
When it comes to choosing what is right over what is easy, um, on our to-do list, most of the time we make a to-do list and we have this thing that the priority, the thing that we're supposed to prioritize, right? And then we do the easiest stuff. We neglect the one that's a priority, and then we check all the boxes, and then at the end of the day we're like, yeah, we did it, we checked all the boxes, but there's this one thing that's left, the hardest thing that's left. I used to do that, not a long time ago. I used to leave the most prioritized. I wouldn't want to challenge myself. I wouldn't want to get out of my comfort zone to try and figure that thing out, knowing that that's the priority. Most of the time, the reason why you stay where you at is because you ignore that one thing on your to-do list, that priority on your to-do list, that thing that needs to challenge you, that thing that needs to take you out of your comfort zone, to do the research, to maybe write more, maybe to read more. Most of the time we run away from those things. So choosing the right thing over just something easy
Yeah,
is more important.
yeah.
And it will be great, or you would succeed if you would prioritize one thing that you do not want to do.
Mm. Be honest and be consistent.
Yeah.
Yeah, be honest and be consistent with yourself, right? Be honest with yourself when you know you are full of shit. Go talk. I experienced having to be honest with myself last night with my wife.
Yeah.
And you just make changes. When you're going to be honest, make sure that you're making a change,
Mm-hmm.
right? Make sure that you are being real with yourself and not sugarcoating and coming up with excuses.
Right.
Like, be able to check yourself, like literally check yourself, like you're the adult and you have the kid version within yourself. And the
Mm-hmm.
kid version wants to do what the kid version wants to do. And
Yeah.
the adult is like, no, that's not how it is. That's not how you're going to receive what you're trying to receive right now, right? Not saying kill the kid side version because the kid is very important within himself, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
The Bible says, uh, it says, what is it? Be like a child when perceiving the Lord or
I didn't
perceiving the
hear you
kingdom.
reading these comments.
I didn't read them.
Oh, real odds and events says, seems like you cracking the code
I read
day
that one.
by day. Oh, okay. Well, the other ones is just like make sense facts. Yes, sir.
Yeah. And damn, what was I talking about? Oh, it was talking about be like a child in the Bible. It was talking about be like a child in the perspective of when you look at the kingdom and you look at the Lord, you want to be like childlike, meaning like when you are when you're telling the kids something, they're open to receive everything. They really don't have any backlash of their own personal opinion per se of like combating you in a way,
Yeah.
right? Um, and so with that being said, be like a child when you're entering the kingdom.
I think that's what Alex Hamosi said yesterday in the video that we were listening. He said something about how we all learn like kids, like children's, but because we take ourselves and put ourselves here, sometimes we're not open to learning like
Mm-hmm.
kids, you
Mm-hmm.
know. And learning like a 10-year-old, learning like a 3-year-old
Yeah.
is better than not learning at all. It's better than not humbling yourself to listen to the other person who has the information.
Mm.
And I thought that was powerful because I didn't know that we all learn like kids,
Yeah.
which is true.
Yeah.
You know, it made so much sense. It made so much sense that people don't want to learn. They take themselves in, and then they put themselves in this category
Pedestal.
of like, I am 30 years old, I am 20 something
Pedestal.
years old, and this is who I am, and I like this. This is, I was born like this. You know, that you give yourself some definitions so that you can block that thing to learn. You know, you can block that stuff about you that I can learn. I
Yeah.
can be who I want to be because I need to humble myself and learn as a 10-year-old.
Facts. So with that being said, I believe that we have touched bases on the first 2 points. We will pick up the next 2 points tomorrow.
Manana,
Manana. We see you being, doing, having all the good you desire. And with that being said,
stay
peace,
locked in.
blessings, prosperity, and success of abundance in your journey in life. Stay locked in.
God vibes only.
All right.